Hey folks, here is the redo for the weight classes 106 through 132 in the Central Tournament. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but here we go. Again, format's the same. We have Spencer Simmons, the Wissahickon sophomore, record of 13-11, matchup against Kevin Quinn, the Oxford area freshman, who's 21-12. I'm picking Kevin Quinn for the win here. For no other reason, just matchups were close, and Quinn's guy ends up with more mat time on the year, and ready to go. What would have been a pigtail blow, Corey Salenza received a bye and gets into the quarters, and we'll talk about that match on the way back up through. Next pigtail we have Varde Jacobs, Westchester Ruston freshman, who's 14-16 on the year, and Aiden Reed in Upper Dublin, sophomore, 6-13. I'm going with Jacobs with this one, and just like I said, I've said all year, I thought Ruston was a real good team. Definitely building something big down there at Ruston is Brad Harkins and his staff, and Varde Jacobs is just another guy that putting in work and getting better, and definitely gotten better as the season has gone on, and to his credit, gets the districts and wins his first match to get into the tournament. Below that we have Brendan McBride and Coatesville freshman, who's 22-13, and Casey Capitola, Great Valley freshman, who's 22-8. Both placed at Chessmonts last week. McBride 4th, Capitola 6th. I'm going McBride here. Again, the good things to say about the job that the Coatesville staff is doing with their team there. Tough, scrappy kids, and McBride and his brother and Chase Stevens, obviously Wendell, Dello Compagni, just to name a few that that are having a nice season. As a team, maybe didn't have a lot of success, but as individuals, you're going to see a lot of them pushing deep into the postseason. So McBride for his win gets the Suburban 1 American champion Josh Stahl from Quakertown, and Josh Stahl will put McBride into the Russelbacks. Varde Jacobs gets Avon Grove Jr. Jordan Howard. It's 22-9 in the season, and Howard will win that one to get into the semis against Stahl. And then we have Dylan Moore, Plymouth Whitemarsh sophomores, 12-11. Beneficiary of a weaker weight class at the Suburban 1 American, and Corey Salenza, gets himself into the semis by beating Moore. And then we have Quinn and Doug Zaff, and did open with saying something about Doug Zaff, and I said when he dropped to 8 that it was his weight class to lose out of District 1, and I still stand by that. I mentioned it in the East preview about someone gave me a little razz about Max Mendez, and before Suburban 1s, and Mendez goes out and loses to Lucerne. With that said, I do think Mendez gets back on track and beats Lucerne in a rematch in their district tournament. But I still think Doug Zaff is the top dog in all of the Southeast region. And I stand by that statement. And here we go with the winner puts him into the quarters. And again, I see him beating Salenza to get into the final. And I definitely see Stahl beating Howard to get himself in the final and become a regional qualifier this season. And then let's go down to the Wrestlebacks. We'll see. We have Quinn and Moore, and Quinn gets the win there, and we can reveal these semifinal losers. Jacobs and McBride. I have McBride winning that match and wrestling up, matching against Corey Salenza, to which I think Salenza will win, put McBride down in a 5-6 match. And on this match, I think Howard will win, bumping Quinn down to there, and I feel McBride will take 5th. And this Salenza-Howard matchup, definitely think Salenza from Westchester East, coached by John Gallo, will prevail and take 3rd and get himself to regionals here as a sophomore. We go back up here again, standing by my comments. You probably know what's coming here. Doug Zaff with the win here in the final over Josh Stahl. to win the Central title. And so, there's your bracket that you take a look at. And again, I scroll down so you can see just about almost all of it. Not a pretty, I wouldn't say top-heavy bracket. You have Doug Zaff, and then you have Stahl, and they're kind of the class of this weight class. And it was a bunch of other guys that were competing for those spots. Ultimately, won out found two by Jordan Howard and Corey Salenza. So we're going 113 pounds here, and this is an intriguing weight class. There's definitely some tough guys in this weight class, and this one is as far as talent goes, more talent in the 113-pound weight class than there is in 106 at this district tournament. And we'll get started by talking here about Sam Negron, a junior from Hatboro Horsham, and a record of 18-11. And I talked about in the original preview that didn't get recorded. These Hatboro guys are gonna have a little bit extra to work for this postseason. Their coach, longtime Hatboro coach, Glenn Kaiser, it's his last hurrah. It's his last run. He's hanging it up after this year. Hopefully, maybe joining PA Wrestling for some broadcasts along the way. But I think it's going to be kind of their rallying cry throughout the postseason. That not just doing it for themselves, not just doing it for the team, but doing it for their coach as well. And so Sam Negron goes up against a tough junior from Downingtown West, a guy who couldn't really break it in the lineup because he was behind Doug Zaff at times, and now that he's had his opportunity, I think he's really finding his own, and that's Marco Cardi from Downingtown West, and I'm going to take Marco Cardi in this. I had the privilege of seeing him wrestle, and I like the way he gets after it, the way he attacks, and creates for himself. Seth Hoops gets a bye. Tough sophomore from Octorara. He's 30-4 in the season. Then we drop down in the lower half of the bracket. We have Nathan Riddell, an Avon-grown freshman, who's 5-13, and Charlie Brammer, a Wissahickon sophomore, is 23-11. Definitely going Brammer on this one. Again, just on the sight test of seeing the two records, I'd be going Brammer. But just doing homework on it. Brammer's I would say, pretty close to a lock in this match. Just my 2 cents. Then we have Dominic Chaklis, a sophomore, 23-13 from Unionville, taking on Chestmont, 6th place winner Nate Johnson from Westchester Rush, who's a freshman at 6-9. I'm gonna go Chaklis on this one. And he wins and gets into the quarters, and he gets Marco Di Battista, guy junior from Plymouth White Marshes, 23-1 in the season, and just a tough kid. Di Battista is gonna punch his ticket to the semis there, and then here comes Brammer and Killian Delaney, freshman from Westchester Henderson, 31-6 on the year. Kid that's fearless and goes and seeks competition and just desires to compete at the highest level. And I'm excited to see him wrestle this year and beyond. I think he beats Charlie Brammer, gets himself in the semis. Corey Cope is a sophomore. He's 22-6 for the Quakertown Panthers, and Hoops from Octorara, as we talked about. I got Hoops beating Cope here. Hoops has a little bit more experience. I know they're both sophomores, but Hoops has the more experience in this situation, and I think it's a safe bet. Marco Cardi, for all the nice things I said about him, that win earned him a Downingtown West, Downingtown East matchup with Lucas Ritchie. Sophomores, 31-2, return regional qualifier from last year, was in the mix to go to states there at the end. Had a big win in regions last year over Matt Wild. Wrestled very well this year, but unfortunately Cardi is overmatched in this one. Ritchie gets the win. The Ritchie and Hoops match, I got Lucas Ritchie again taking care of business. He's solid in all facets, is Ritchie. And he's tough on top. He's good from his feet. And say of his three, the weakest of them is probably being on bottom. He's tough to turn, but he doesn't always just get out. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in this bracket. Then we have Delaney and Di Battista, and you have the junior on the freshman. uh, I'm gonna think you guys know by now. I'm not afraid to go with a bold pick, and here's just another one. As I'm gonna go with Delaney to beat DiBattista and make it to the finals and get that regional qualification as a freshman. We'll come back and talk about the final a little bit here. Then we have DiBattista drop down, and we have Hoops drop down. Cardi and Corey Cope. Again, I'm going to ride Cardi on this one. Just something about the kid, seeing how he does, in the big stage like this. So again, I've been wrong before, so I'm not afraid to make the choice or any of the comments that come with it. But in the end, Cardi or Cope, it doesn't matter because DiBattista is going to beat that next person that whoever comes to him to get to regionals. So then we have Brammer and Chaklis, and I'm going Chaklis here, and then Chaklis gets Hoops after the drop down from losing in the semis to Lucas Ritchie, and Hoops again is gonna punch his ticket to regionals. We have Chaklis beating Cardi for 5th, and then we have DiBattista beating Hoops for 3rd. We go back up here, and this is a rematch from the dual meet in the regular season between Delaney and Ritchie, and a rematch of last week in the Chessmont final. And the two great matches. But with this one, I'm definitely gonna go with Ritchie. Gonna go with the upperclassman. Go with the guy that's been there before. And I've talked about other previews, and I think I talked about it last night. This one, it's hard to say when some of these freshmen that have these outstanding seasons, regular seasons, if they ever hit a wall. And sometimes you're not ready. You're not used to competing this much and consistently competing with so much on the line, week in, week out basis. Not saying Delaney's gonna hit the wall, but Ritchie's been through this grind before, and Killian Delaney hasn't. So I'm just gonna say this might be the difference. Wrestling match, a high stakes match after match. Even a year experience is more than for some of these guys. So that concludes our 113, and we're going to move on to 120 here. We have 120 in the West. We have Justin Oliver from Plymouth Whitemarsh, sophomore, 13-12, and Logan Regal, a Kennett Jr. with a record of 21-5. I'm going Regal in this one. He's wrestled some tougher competition, and he's had more success, and I'm going to ride that hot hand there. Then we drop down here. We have Brendan Forsyth, an Oxford area junior, 22-10, and Braden Drugger, a junior from Wissahickon, at 15-9. And I'm going with the Oxford junior on this one. Again, more success, more consistently winning than Drugger, and tougher schedule for that matter. That's what what pushed me to that decision. And then I have Jacob Lehman from Unionville, sophomores, 12-6, and Mitch Byers, a Downtown West junior who's 9-21. Gonna go with the guy that's been more successful at similar levels, and that's Jacob Lehman from Unionville. And Lehman gets then Quakertown freshman, 7-2, Zach Lewis, and I'm gonna take Lehman to win that match too. And the reason being, I just don't, you don't have enough info on Lewis. Why he only wrestles so many matches and whatnot, if it's injury, and just didn't have privilege to that. Was not privileged to that information as to why he only wrestled 9 matches up to this point. And so that's why I'm going to take Lehman there. And then we have Liam Babata, an Oxford junior, who's 25-9, and Brendan Forsyth. I'm taking Forsyth for the win. I don't know, something about it. I just had a hunch, had a feeling about this one, and I'm gonna roll with it. And then we move up to the next quarterfinal, which is Jamison Eddy, who's a freshman with 21-8 from Westchester East, against Chris Walker, a freshman from Upper Moreland, who's 22-4. I'm going to go with Eddy here. just based upon just having some tougher competition, being in some tougher matches than Walker has been. And that's what pushed me into that decision. And we have Jacob Reed sitting here by himself. He's a senior. He's 28-9, and he's just talked to him earlier in the year. He's just poised for, was just waiting for this part of the season to get here so that he could show what he can do and ultimately reach all of his goals. And I got Reed winning there. And I have Reed turn around winning the semifinals over Eddie. And like I said, Reed's on a mission, and he won't see a whole lot of challenge until he gets to regionals. We have Forsyth and Lehman here. I'm going Lehman to get to the final, and we can go down and check out the consolation bracket before we come back up and talk about the winner. We have Regal and Walker. I got Regal winning to knock Walker out, and I got Babata winning to knock out Lewis. And then we have Eddie and Babata. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but I think Jameson Eddie wins this one. And Forsyth and Regal. Got Regal winning here, which, sorry about that, drops Forsyth and Babata down here. And I got, apologize for that, should be Babata winning that match there, not Regal. And Regal taking third. So go back up and look at this final here between Lehman and Reed, and I think it's going to be Reed handily taking care of business here over Jacob Lehman from Unionville. Again, Lehman's a stretch to get there, but that whole half the bracket, it's just I think it's up for anyone. It shows the balance in it. It's anyone's bracket to win it. You can even say that if Regal didn't finish 5th last week and for whatever reason finished 4th in the Chessmont, he could be coming out there. Or if he finished 6th, he'd have the opportunity to be coming out there. If he'd lost to Mitch Byers by chance, he very well could be in that final. It could be anyone's game, but this is Reed's weight class to lose. So we move on to 126 pounds. And we have, again, a weight class that, has got a balance past, you have Brett Callender, and then you have balance below him. As far as a lot of guys that will be competing for those other spots to get out. We have Ian Patterson, a Cheltenham freshman, who's 7-20, and John Bazio and Avon Grove juniors, 13-14. I'm going Bazio here for the win. Knocks out Patterson. Just leaning on that junior experience and a little bit more success than his opponent. And we have Jared Zapito, a Great Valley senior, 7-5, and Alex Bonskevich, and again, I apologize if I'm butchering your name, which I feel like I probably am. He's a senior from Upper Dublin, 16-7. I'm going with Bonskevich to win that match and get into the quarterfinals. Then we have Nate Gathercole, a junior, who's 18-19, and Tommy Luke, a junior from Westchester East, that is 21-14. Gathercole from Coatesville, and I'm going Gathercole. Just like the way that these Coatesville kids go out and compete, match in, match out. It's a testament to their coach, Bear Stevens, and doing a good job. Again, Jeff Boyer to come in and be the assistant and potential head coach in waiting. For those who don't know Jeff Boyer, he was a head coach at Springford Middle for the last 3 seasons prior to this year. Did a phenomenal job there with their program. I don't think they lost a dual meet under him. Before that, at one point was the head coach at George Mason University, is the winningest coach in their history. Wrestled at George Mason, just impressive resume, and it was a big pickup for the Red Raiders of Coatesville. And paired with him and the rest of the staff, who already did a phenomenal job, it just made them that much better. And it's a time of year where the coaching is valuable and the preparation. And I'm going to give the nod to Gathercole on this one. Gathercole then gets undefeated Jason Amy from Upper Moreland, who's a senior, and Jason Amy would get the win. We have Garrett Ryder, a junior from Kennett, who's 25-5, and Alex Bonskevich. And I got Ryder winning that match and getting to the semis. And we have Brett Horn, who's a junior from Downingtown East, a record of 25-11, who got a bye in the first round into the quarters. And Trent Nielsen, a sophomore from Quakertown, with a record of 13-14, again beneficiary of a weaker weight class there at the Suburban 1 American. And I got Brett Horn winning this match and getting into the semis. And I got Brett Callender taking care of John Bazio and getting himself to the semis. And then Horn and Callender probably be a good match for a little bit, but Callender will rise above and take care of business when it's all said and done. And then between Ryder and Amy, this match, I think you could kind of flip a coin, it could go back and forth, but ultimately I'm going to go with Jason Amy to get to the final against Brett Callender. We go down here and look at the wrestlebacks, and Bazio and Nielsen. I'm going Bazio for the win to knock Nielsen out and get to that Consi semi. And in between Bonskevich and Gathercole, I'm going Gathercole for the win to get to that Consi semi against Brett Horn. And then I have Brett Horn beating Gathercole. I'm putting Gathercole in that 5 and 6 match. And I have Ryder beating Bazio to get to the qualify for regionals. And I have Gathercole beating Bazio, finishing 5th. And then Horn beating Ryder to get the 3rd place finish. And then finally the championship round, and here at 126 pounds, taking Brett Callender all the way. Probably he'll win this one in convincing fashion. He's been wrestling well, and I just think he's on a level above the others in this bracket. And that's what I got for 126 pounds. We'll move on to 132, and this will be the last of this little snippet here we're doing, just making up for what got somehow cut out. And again, I do apologize. That mistake on my part. I thought maybe it was something with the zip drive I gave to Mike to upload, but when I came home and checked what was on my computer, it was missing it as well. I want to thank some of the people that reached out to me early on and said that it was missing something, and I think they watched it through before they realized it was missing. Maybe thought that it was at the end. I don't know, but I do appreciate people reaching out and saying something, whether it be in the forum. Got a few messages on Facebook, got a few texts. So it's nice to know that people are actually watching these, and that you do enjoy them. So with that said, here's 132 pounds, and this weight class is it's got some tough guys in it. You have, Jake Taylor's got, state qualifier. Nick Lilly, who's wrestling really well. Drew Massetti, coming off a year where he was close to qualifying for states. He's only got 2 losses on the year. Jonathan Reardon is a tough out. And, those are all some guys just from the Chessmont. The representation from the Suburban 1 American, not nearly as strong as their Chessmont counterparts. So let's get to this bracket. This is one I had some fun with. You guys, similar to the 132-pound bracket in the West, having some fun with it. And I have justification for some of these, for some of this too. So just sit tight and bear with me. It might make a little bit of sense. So we got Billy Bishop here, a sophomore from Wissahickon. He's got a record of 7-8, and Luke Wilson, a Great Valley Junior, record of 22-8. I'm gonna take Luke Wilson again. One, guy's a year older. 2, he's had way more success wrestling comparable competition. It's a no-brainer for me. It's not. I'm not complicating that choice more than it needs to be. Next pigtail we have Nicolay received a bye. We'll talk about him when we get back to this quarterfinal here. We got Rob Conlon, a Sun Valley Junior with a record of 11-15, and Cameron Wyatt, a Cheltenham sophomore with a record of 7-1. I'm going Wyatt. going with the guy from Cheltenham. Although I tend to stay away from guys I don't know a whole lot about, like why he only wrestled 8 matches on the year. You know, I just feel like you know, Cheltenham is a team traditionally with you know, full guys that come out and don't back down. So I'm going to give Cameron White the nod here, the underclassman. Then we got Jonathan Reardon, Westchester Ruston Senior with a record of 21-8, and Anthony Spadero, an Oxford Junior with a record of 13-13. Based on what I've seen out of Reardon, I'm going Reardon all the way on this one. He's physical. He's going to come out. He's going to battle. He's going to be prepared. I know that because I know that the coaches in which he wrestles under, and so you know, I know those things about him, and I think he's just gonna be too much for the junior from Oxford, Spadero. We have Stone Snyder, the champion from the Suburban One American from Quakertown. He's a sophomore. He's 14-8. I got Reardon beating him too, getting himself into the semis, coming out of the pigtail. We have Massetti and Wyatt. Massetti the win. I'm gonna call bonus points on this one. I think he's just gonna be too tough, especially if he gets on top for this Cameron Wyatt. Then we have Michael Clarkson and Plymouth Whitemore, sophomore. He's 7-16 again. This is the runner-up. Again, shown in this one of the weight classes where, you know, the Suburban One didn't have you know, the best representation, or at least comparable to what the Chessmont had. And then we have Nick Lilly, the sophomore junior from Downingtown West, with a record of 31-9. Got Lilly winning here, and I'm gonna call bonus points on that one as well. Then we got Luke Wilson coming out of the pigtail and gets Jake Taylor, senior, is 31-1 on the year, and I got Taylor winning that one handily. So it sets up these semifinals: Taylor, Lilly, Massetti, and Reardon. It's an all Chessmont semifinal. So we'll, you know, gonna see how it plays out here. But here's my take on this first semifinal. Nick Lilly's a kid that keeps matches close, and he's in a lot of these matches with these better guys, and you know. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that, like, this is the weekend he puts it together, and he starts to win these matches that, you know, maybe he's not supposed to win, but that he does, you know, maybe deserves to win, or does enough to win, just doesn't pull it through. He's had some close ones with Taylor in the past. I'm going Lilly with the upset win over Taylor here, and I can already hear the gasps from some people that they don't believe that I make that pick. But again, you look at the matchups, you go look at the competition, you go look at all these things, and you might start to wonder, why hasn't he won any of these matches yet? Why hasn't he done it? Well, you know, I'm saying this is the weekend that he does it. I have confidence in the kid to go out and do it. You know, it's no slight of Jake Taylor whatsoever. I think he's phenomenal. You know, great kid from the interactions I've seen and been around. And it's not anything against them. I just think Lilly, it's his time. Like, it's his time to make a statement that he's not just like kind of like he flew under the radar for this season, and you know, this is his chance to you know, show everyone that he can run with the big dogs. So we come down here to Massetti and Reardon, and I got Massetti beating Reardon to get to the final as well. And we'll come back and talk about that unique final we got there. But first, let's look at the wrestlebacks here. So we got Wilson and Clarkson, and I got Wilson with the win here to get into the Consi semifinals against Reardon. Unfortunately, I got you know, Reardon winning over Wilson. You know, Wilson just a junior, Reardon the senior. Reardon got a little bit more to wrestle for, and not to mention the fact that, you know, wrestling's gonna be right there when it's all said and done in a team race too. So, you know, he's gonna you know, look to help propel his team to where they need to be. Then we got Wyatt and Snyder. I got Snyder for the win. Unfortunately, Snyder, you know, for all that you know, he did to win this match, in my prediction, he gets Jake Taylor in the Consi semis, and Taylor's gonna put him into the 5th and 6th place match. You got Wilson and Snyder. I'm going Snyder for the win to take 5th place, and we have Taylor and Reardon. I got Taylor winning, beating Reardon to take 3rd, and we go back up here and we look at this Lilly Massetti matchup. And again, you know, I feel when, like a Nick Lilly, if he's able to pull off that upset against Taylor, you know, that's a win like that puts your confidence at a different level. And when that happens, I'm going to say Lily turns around and comes back and beats Massetti too, and wins the 132-pound bracket. It just takes one win, one time, and a lot of you guys that out there that wrestled before, you know what I'm talking about. You get that one marquee win, and it's all you need, and it's a game changer for that confidence level. It shoots through the roof, and he's then able to compete with anyone at any given time. And it comes down to effort. And, this seeing Lily wrestle this year, he's got the tools to make it happen. It's whether or not he does. Again, I know this one's a stretch, but this is why we make predictions and we make bold ones, and have some fun with it. So again, as always, this has been a blast to do, and I really enjoy the ability and the opportunity to do this job and be welcomed by the wrestling community. It's it's been a fun ride, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So as always, this is we'll be going here, and I'll see some of you this weekend at the West tournament at Springford, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you at regionals in 2 weeks. So with that said, see y'all. Good luck to everyone wrestling this weekend as well. Everybody, go hard. I know a lot of you guys that wrestle, a lot of you high school guys watch these, and go hard. Leave it all out there, because you don't know what the next day has in store for you. Go on and earn your trip to regionals, and then take it a match at a time after that. So and always enjoy the moment. So those are a few words of wisdom there. Take it as you may. But with that said, take care, and talk to y'all later. Bye.